Hi and welcome to my second tutorial. We're going to be covering drop shadow effects with text, glow effects, and reflections again. We're going to be using Macromedia Fireworks 8 because, as I said before in my first tutorial, I'm running an old computer. I'm going to set the width to 800, the height to 600, and the canvas color is going to be white. And the reason I set it to 800 by 600 is it gives me plenty of space to work with. Um, and we can always trim the canvas later, so it's really not that big of a deal. Alright, so first off, we're going to start off with a little box. I like to have a background box. I'm going to set the background to white, which may not make any sense right now, but we're going to Control Alt T to trim the canvas down. Okay, so we're stuck with this. Alright, and then I'm going to add some text. We're going to do PBS Web Design again. And we're going to move that to the center. And I'm going to choose a different color here. I'm going to go with black. Or how about we go with a nice blue? Hold on. Control A to select all. Go with blue. Alright, so we got ourselves a nice blue now. I am going to reselect everything. Oh, Control Z. Sorry about that. I'm going to select everything again. I'm going to pick a different font because I don't want to do this font right now. I used it in my last tutorial. Let's see what kind of font we can find. How about a cheap fire font? That'd be kind of cool, right? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to blow this up just a little bit here. Control A. We're going to set the text size. Dang it. What did this thing do? I keep hitting the wrong button. Control. There we go. I don't know what button I kept hitting. Alright, so we're going to up the text size to about an 85. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got this PBS Web Design here with a little flame effect on the text. This is a freely downloadable font, so don't worry. It's nothing that I had to do in Fireworks, so you guys can download that yourself. Alright, so first of all, we're going to select everything here. Alright, we're going to come down, and we're going to set a filter on it. So if we go here, we come to Filter. Alright, we have all these different effects. The first thing we're going to cover is a drop shadow. Literally, just click drop shadow. We'll set it to maybe a 6. Okay, that seems about good enough for me. Let's lessen that a little bit. Yeah, that's more dramatic. Alright, and you can see we got a little bit of a drop shadow now. Alright, you guys can see the drop shadow effect behind there. And it just kind of makes your stuff pop out. Makes it very professional looking. Alright, so we're going to get rid of the drop shadow right now. You come down here and click that right there. Alright, and it still shows up right here, but not a big deal. Alright, the next filter we're going to look at is a glow filter. Alright, and you can see we got a nice red glow because that's the color we've chosen. If we wanted to do yellow, we could do yellow. If we wanted to do like an orange, we could do orange. I think we'll stick with an orange, orangey red, because it kind of simulates fire. That's more of a pink salmon color. Kind of gives it the more fiery feel. Alright, we'll lower the number to make it a little darker. Okay. The opacity. Ooh, sorry, let me up that number. Not lower it. Okay. So there you go. It's got like a little glow effect on the text now. Um, honestly, I don't use this at all for anything, so but I'm just showing you guys how to do it. Okay. Our filter. Also, if you want to get rid of these, just click there, click the little minus button if you don't want to see it. I leave them there because I can turn them on and off. Alright, so we got an inner glow now that we can use. Inner glow is kind of neat because it glows inside the text. Alright, and the default setting is pretty good. You guys can set it to like an orange. The darker color is going to probably stick out a lot better, so we'll go back to the black. And you guys can see the inner glow inside of this text, which kind of makes it stand out. And if you put a drop shadow on it, let's see what a drop shadow would look like. Alright, that looks pretty hot. Alright, so now you got kind of the inner glow going on with the drop shadow. Flaming text, it looks pretty neat. So you can see how easy it is to use Fireworks to add effects to your text here, to just transform it from plain Jane boring text. Let's look at another thing. We got, of course, the inner shadow. Use it shadow inside. I'll zoom in so you guys can see that. You can kind of see where it's black. So move that back to the center. Zoom in a little bit. Alright, there we go. So inner shadow I don't ever really use. Solid shadow, I would never use that, honestly. I mean, obviously some people will, but I won't for the demonstration purposes. Alright, blur, you can obviously add motion blur, radio blur, zoom blur. The most popular is the Gaussian blur, or the Gaussian blur, as most people will call it. I find 0.8 is pretty good when I'm doing just a slightly blurred but still visible design, especially when we get into reflections here. So let me actually Control Z and get back to a clear image. We're going to Control C, Control V. Okay, so now we have two. Alright, and I'm going to take the top layer. I'm going to modify, transform, and this is just like we did in the other one, flip vertical. Okay, and then I'm going to drag it down. Leave just a little bit of space. Alright, and of course these G's are going to touch. It's just the way they are. Make it look nice. So this would be how you get the flipped effect, the like if it's reflecting on a water or something like that. And a cool thing you can add here is come up here to where it says commands and go to creative. Come down to fade image. Alright, just like we did before, select the top to bottom fade and click OK. Alright, so now you got this really nice looking effect here. Just kind of line that G up a little better. Alright, and then you guys will see a line right here. You can drag that blur in, drag that blur out, set it to whatever you want. You can change it side to side. I like it like that. And I mean, really, it makes it a nice glassy effect. Nothing that you really have to work hard to get. We covered that in the first tutorial, and obviously you could still drop a drop shadow or any effect that you want on either or. So we'll drop a drop shadow on here, and maybe throw an inner glow just for fun because it makes it pop out. Alright, and then even here we could drop a small inner glow. Alright, make it pop out a little more. We don't need to put a drop shadow on the reflection because the reflection itself is technically a shadow, just on a mirror surface. So, but yeah, I mean, that's how you do the design part. You get a cool looking logo. You can use it for whatever you want, a forum. You can use it for your own personal website. So it's a lot of fun to do. It's very easy to do, as you saw. I've only been using Fireworks now for 2 or 3 days, and I can already pump out some pretty cool graphics. The gradient tool, if you want to put a background on this, come down here to the rectangle. Alright, come here, go to gradient. We want a linear gradient. Okay, and that looks pretty good as it is. I may just leave it like that. You can obviously change it. The colors, click these little houses here. You can select, we already have black selected for that. I'll select Gunship Gray. And that pops out pretty good. I like that a lot. We'll make it to where you don't have to see this annoying little line. But that line will change the gradient and will change all that. So we'll leave it there. Okay. We'll come back up to here, click layer, and select off. And you can see we got a nice text effect that's got a drop shadow, it's got an inner glow, and it's got like a reflected surface deal going on. Also, another thing I want to cover, let me close this real quick. I'm not going to save that. We'll go to fireworks. We'll do an 800, 600 again, and draw another box. Okay. And we will make this none. We will do a Control-Alt-T. Okay. And then we are going to come here and do text. And we'll just say YouTube. Alright, I'm going to select a different text here because honestly that is not going to work. Let's do Loki Koki. I don't know if that'll even show up, but what the hell? Oh, I don't have it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Loki Cola. Alright, so let's do another Loki Cola. YouTube. Alright, so this should show up pretty good. Alright, select everything. Come down here. Actually, go up here and select YouTube. Sorry. Come to Filter. Come to Bevel and Emboss. We're going to do an inner bevel. Alright. And that right there, as you can see, shows a nice bevel. Obviously I'm zoomed in, but it gives it a nice effect. Kind of a 3D effect, if you will. So it adds bevel to your text. That was one thing I did want to cover and I didn't get a chance to. Let me try the Inset Emboss. So it's kind of like another type of drop shadow with it. And that's the Inset Emboss, so it pops out more on the page. And of course you can do the outer bevels, make it as gaudy as you want. We'll make that black just for fun. So we'll make that black, and then you could even come up and do the inner glow of black. Alright, making a nice 3D effect here. Inner shadow. I don't think that's going to do anything there. There we go. Alright, kind of pops it out more. So it's kind of a neat, kind of looks like, you know, you wood burnt it or something like that. And, you know, honestly, I didn't even know I would get something like this, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm just sitting here goofing off, showing you guys how easy it is to use fireworks to get amazing results. But as you can see, I mean, that's a pretty badass little picture there. Kind of neat to create a 3D effect, and all we did was add an outer bevel, an inner glow, and an inner shadow. We didn't even change the default settings, and we got something like this. Now you could obviously modify the blue text, throw it as a gradient, whatever you want, specifically over the images. So, but YouTube, I hope you can see how easy Fireworks is and how simple and convenient it is to use. Obviously save all your pictures and images that you create. I'm not going to. I don't need them, but when you create something, remember to save it. That way you don't lose it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Comment, rate, subscribe. If you need any help, ask me. I'll help you guys out as much as I possibly can. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it was easy to follow, and I will see you guys next time.